common thing and why Bruce and I are such a broken record around mindful drinking, changing habits, coping skills, like the other 50% of naltrexone and the Sinclair method, is because what happens for a lot of people is they get on naltrexone and TSM, they see a reduction in their drinking, and then they plateau. And oftentimes people are aware, I would say most of the time even, they'll tell me, yeah, I know I'm drinking out of habit. Like I see what's going on. They're not unaware of that fact. They see what naltrexone is doing and they can see what they're not doing or what they should be doing to help naltrexone do its job. So it is this endorphin effect and this dependence on that reward from alcohol, which when you drink on naltrexone, it blunts that. But then I'm of the belief as well that there's like a psychological dependence to the alcohol. Like for me, it just felt like my BFF, like my best friend. It was what I did every day for 10 years. It was the thing I turned to when I was happy, sad, bored, lonely, celebrating, grieving, like everything for 10 years. And so naltrexone was like quieting that craving and that reward. So when I was drinking, it wasn't as rewarding and I could have alcohol-free days more easily and I could drink more slowly. But then there was also like, well, okay, I don't really feel like drinking, but I had a really crappy day. Like, what am I supposed to do instead? Like, alcohol is my familiar thing that I turn to. It's the default. So it's really easy for me to like turn to that, even though I don't really want to drink. Kind of like how we can eat a whole bag of potato chips, even though we're not hungry, because we're just eating to kind of stuff our emotions or numb. So there is that other part of it where we kind of hit this crux on TSM where we see naltrexone working. Maybe we don't even really feel like drinking, but we do it anyway because we're bored or to cope or, just for the fact that changing habits, it can be a really difficult process. Like it's honestly almost harder than the Sinclair Method protocol. I feel like taking naltrexone and following that is almost the easy part. The hard part is like, what do I like to do? I don't know what I like to do outside of alcohol. Drinking was my purpose for 10 years. Again, how do I cope when life is hard? Hey, there's a liquor store right next door, and it's really easy to me to pop over there and get a drink and just kind of get drunk because you can still get drunk on naltrexone. You can still numb out with naltrexone. So that's the other piece of it. So that's, I think, kind of like almost like a mystery in some way, but I just view it as more of like a psychological dependence around the habits of our relationship with alcohol. And that takes time to break. Like, I kind of equate it to a weight loss journey where like we have to be consistent with our behaviors. The progress is going to be slow and subtle and steady, but if we're continuous and consistent with it, we'll still see the changes over time.